Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me. I'm going to feature the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-hour foundation that we got in BoxyCharm. I had some questions on how I was able to make this work, so I'll show you on camera. We'll get ready, and then I'm also going to try out the Vampira palette from Lunatic Cosmetics. I haven't tried this yet, so we're just going to get ready for the day. You guys can come with me, kind of see what I'm doing, and we're just going to get started. Make sure you're subscribed. I currently have 2 active giveaways going on my channel. You must be a subscriber to enter. The makeup I purchased recently video has a giveaway, and then the BoxyCharm, the current BoxyCharm Premium unboxing for March, also has a giveaway. So make sure you are subscribed so you can enter those. Go over and check those videos out and enter. And yeah, we're just going to get started. So the first thing I did, and I've only used this once, so let's cross our fingers and hopefully I can make it work again, but I've been using the Wander Beauty Dive-In Moisturizer as my moisturizer. I was using a Mary Kay one prior to this, and I ran out, and I really do like the Mary Kay moisturizer, but I have a lot of moisturizers that I've gotten in subscription boxes, so I decided to hold off and try and use. And so far, I'm about halfway through this, and I like it. I don't think it's it's a nice like gel cream consistency. It seems to work decent. I have really dry, I wouldn't say really dry. I have dry skin that's also dehydrated because I don't drink enough fluids, although I can't really have an excuse for that currently because I've been home because of the current situation. But when I was working and we're busy, it's hard to drink enough water. So speaking of drinking water, I do have some here, so. But my skin is dry and dehydrated. Those are not the same things, but because some people have dehydrated skin and they think it's dry and it's just dehydrated, but I have both. So I am dry. So I was nervous to try this foundation because I am dry. And then I like to leave that for just a second. And then I'm going to go in with the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. So we're doing double moisture. This also has a little bit of a luminosity to it. I think I got this in an Ipsy Plus. It's by First Aid Beauty. I like their stuff. They're a little bit pricey. I think they're considered drugstore, but they're like pharmacy. They are what I would consider high, and Pixie, they're high-end drugstore. So it gives a little bit of a sheen to the skin, but it also helps give some extra moisture on top. And then I believe, if memory serves, I went in with a little bit of the Becca, what is this, backlighting priming filter. This is the traditional one. I figured since they were both Becca products, they would play well together. And this just gives a glow, extra glow. I just don't put this on my nose. I have a problem. I think primarily it's because I'm a glassware, but I do get a teensy bit oily right in my nose around the sides, and foundation will break up there if it's going to break up anywhere. And I find that these glowy illuminating products don't help the cause with that. And then I try to let everything kind of hang out. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. primer. I'm going to try the illuminating one. I used the regular one last time. I haven't used my illuminating one, so let's see if this makes a difference. So if for some reason this foundation doesn't work out, I'm going to blame this. So, and I do like the regular e.l.f. primer. I think it's nice. I do have visible pores on my cheeks. I think it's just come with age, because when I was younger, I never noticed that my pores are visible. So it just comes with age, can't do much about it. And this definitely does have like micro glitter in it. Like, it doesn't look like full-on glitter, but I can see a little bit of like sparkle. But I think you could definitely wear this for like no makeup. Just put this on to give you a nice glow, because it doesn't look like full-on glitter to me, which is nice, because some of the illuminating primers, like it's very like full-on glitter. I always forget to put the towel on my lap before I get started, so I'm just gonna let that hang out for just a minute. I think the only other thing I put on that I forgot was the Prime Essence, so let's hope that that doesn't make a difference. I usually go in with this after the moisturizer before the other primer, and I forgot, but and a good alternative would be the Wander, the Glow Ahead Face Oil, and I also have, this is the illuminating one and the regular. Those are alternatives too that you could use before the primer, after moisturizer. I like to let it kind of sink in just for a minute. I think that's it. Trying to think here. I think that's all I did. Okay, then the sponge today, it's very damp. I'm using the this is the Morphe Jeffree Star one. I think last time I used my Sigma. I have one of their HD blending sponges. I have a sponge minor obsession, so the green basket has the dirty ones, the other side has the clean ones. I like to use a clean one every time I do my makeup, and I'm lazy, so I have like 8 or 9 sponges, so I have at least a week's worth. That was always my goal, to have a week's worth of sponges, so that I, you know, when I'm working, I can use a clean one every day and then clean them at the end of the week. So that's a full pump. I'm pretty sure I only used 2 small pumps when I did it this time. Like, it wasn't, a little bit of this goes a long way, and I could see that being an issue if you go in with too much. I could see it being a problem, because this is very thick. The only other thing that I forgot to do is I put a little bit of my mattifying primer on my nose, but I'm not going to work, so I don't know that that really matters today. So that was one pump, and that pretty much did most of my face. I leave my nose for the very end, because the caking, when you have a problem with foundation stain on your nose, caking too much on can actually cause it to come off faster. So I try and not do as much directly on my nose if I can. But this is definitely full coverage, and like I said, it's very thick. I may go in with a brush, and the issues I'm having with it applying on my nose, I think, is the way this sponge is shaped. I don't think it has anything to do with the foundation. I tried to go in with as much moisture the first time, because I heard so many like bad things about it. So, and I know it looks very yellow right now. It won't after I do everything else. Trust me, this is this is probably like my exact shade. Pretty stinking close to it. I do have a yellow undertone. I'm just so pale right now, it's hard to tell, but yeah, I think it's just the way this sponge is shaped, because I didn't have as much of an issue with the Sigma when it just kind of went on. Or I used maybe I used this one. This might be just one of the beauty blenders with more of the round shape. So I'm just trying to get it evenly around the sides of my nose. It's just because this isn't round. But I don't think it looks bad or splotchy or anything, at least that I can see. You can leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. But, and you see, I just used a little bit. Like that first pump, I probably used a tad more than what I did the first time. My side of my nose just itches. I have a dog, so I swear there's like dog hair on everything, and then my face will start to itch. But you would definitely run into a problem with this if you use too much. So I think that may be an issue people are having. And if you don't moisturize, and you saw like I moisturized quite a bit and I even forgot one of my steps. So let's get concealers. I didn't pull everything out ahead of time because I wasn't 100%. This is the hydrating one. And I'm going to try my e.l.f. hydrating concealer. I haven't tried it yet. Oh my. I know my nose itches. There's probably hair on my sponge. There's always, like I have a husky, so there's hair on everything. And then I may try this Complexion Culture. This is a concealer brush. I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to go in first with this round one because I start off with the Pixie. This is the Color Correction Concentrate in Brightening Peach. They have a darker one. This is the more salmony, lighter salmon one. They have like a dark salmon one too if you have a little bit darker skin tone. I debated about getting the darker one just because of how dark my under eye circles are, but I was worried it's going to have more of an issue covering it up. So I went with this. And this is expensive. This is like $12 or something like that, but it lasts a long time. Then I go in with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer Stick, and this is in light medium. There is a hair, I swear, on my face, like from the dog or something. But again, I don't think that this foundation looks bad. So this is a darker shade, and you're gonna think like, oh wow, that looks bad, but try it. I think when people have really dark circles, a mistake they make is they will just go in with the color correcting and then go to the brightening concealer, and you need to conceal before you can brighten. So I go in with what is close to my skin tone shade over the salmon corrector, and then I usually will take a little bit of this around my nose. And then if I have any blemishes, I'll go in with this also. Oh, my face just itches really bad right here. So I don't know if it's the e.l.f. primer or if there's like a dog hair on my face. The only thing I did differently was the illuminating primer, so if my face starts to break out, we'll know that's what it was, because like I said, it's itching around here, and then my chin started to itch, and it's probably itching more because I'm thinking about it, but we're going to press on. So then I go in with the brightening concealer, and we're going to try this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo. I have the regular camo concealer. I've talked about that I do not like it for under eyes. It's very drying. I don't think it looks good under my eyes. It emphasizes all of my lines, but I do like it for doing cut creases. So I keep it for that. So then we're gonna take, I usually use a Morphe brush for this, but we're gonna try this one. If I don't like it, I'll go back in with my Morphe one. Usually I use a Morphe, what is this, G1 for doing this part of the concealer. The other brush, if anybody cares, is a Morphe M173. I don't use a sponge for the concealer part because the sponge absorbs some of the coverage. That's kind of the sponge's job. And with, I don't necessarily need full coverage on my face, but under my eyes I do because my circles are so dark. So I don't like to go in with the sponge to blend out the concealer anymore because it just takes coverage away, and I need the coverage. So, That is why I use a brush for this part. I don't know how I feel about this brush. It's very stiff. The Morphe one is softer. I like the shape, like the triangle. Like, I get where they were going with this, but it's very stiff. I'll have to use it some more. Maybe I can, you know, break it in and it'll soften a little bit. It's very stiff, and I really don't like the way that that is moving that around. Let me see. I can't tell if it's the concealer or the brush. It's the brush. Yeah, this one is bigger and is softer. I'm kind of bummed because I really like this brush brand. But yeah, that's very stiff. Like, it did fine on the rest of my face, but not so much under the eye. Started making it look like crepey almost. It was like, I think, pushing the foundation around a little bit. Okay, so you can see, like, I feel like I can still see a little bit of darkness, but that's, without going crazy with the concealer, that's usually about as good as I'm gonna get. So I don't know how I feel about that brush. Try not to scratch my face to move product around. Okay. I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop. I was gonna try my e.l.f. illuminating, like, Halo Glow powder, but because my face is starting to itch, I don't want to use a ton of new stuff. Because that kind of helps me eliminate things. I'm pretty sure it's the primer, because that's the only thing, but I'll have to test it again, because sometimes certain primers don't mix well with certain foundations, so it could just be that the illuminating e.l.f. primer and the Becca foundation don't play well together, or it could be, you know, my moisturizing primer doesn't play well with the e.l.f. one. You know, there can be combination factors going on. So I'm just taking, this is the ColourPop Translucent No Filter Setting Powder. I have some in the lid. I go in with the sponge and set everywhere that I put concealer, and then I do my whole nose with the sponge. Kind of helps set it really well, because I am a glass wearer and they do move around on my face. I have gone back and forth on this powder. I liked it, and then I hated it, and then I liked it again. I do like it, so I'm thinking about doing another products I changed my mind about, because I do actually have a new one of this waiting, because I was almost out. And when I bought my Smoke Show palette, I was like, oh, I'm going to order the powder. I always try to have enough to get free shipping, so I ordered another powder because I decided I did like it again. So that's where I'm at on it. I think if you have, like, a lot of lines under your eyes, it's not like the best under eye setting powder ever, but I feel like it does give a nice airbrushed effect to the skin, especially like in this area for me where I have the visible pores. So even when I was setting with other stuff, I would take a little bit and dust it kind of in through this area, and it just kind of helps give a kind of airbrush look to the skin. I will say I don't think it's the best deal. It's like $9, which isn't expensive, but you only get 0.3 ounces, so you don't even get a full ounce, compared to like the Coty Airspun, which is this huge monstrous container of powder for $5 at Walmart that's been around since like the 30s. And I don't know if it's been around that long, but my mom's used it my whole life, and I'm pretty sure the Coty Airspun was around in at least the 60s, so it's still going strong. So my point of that is, for the price, I don't think it's necessarily a screaming deal, but it's decent powder. Because that was everybody's like, yeah, ColourPop, you know, it's so cheap. Well, to a point. Like I said, $9 isn't a lot of money, but when you factor how much product you get, and the only reason I'm able to make mine last as long as I don't use it on my whole face, and I don't use it every single day, because I have a whole drawer of powder over here. Yeah, the Coty Airspun, if I can dig it out. This is the Coty Airspun versus the ColourPop, and this one, since 1935, so I wasn't making that up. how much product is in here. 2.3 ounces versus 0.3. And this is $5 at Walmart. It does look powdery if you go in with too much. I'll use a little bit of it on camera right now, but for the price. And it does have a smell. If you're sensitive to fragrance, it smells like 1935 to me. Like, it has an old lady smell. I don't know how else to describe it. And I don't mean that offensively to anybody, but you just want to be careful because it can look powdery if you go in with too much. But I'm going to set a little bit more around in here with it. I like going in with it with the damp sponge all over my face because I feel like that takes some of the powdery look away, because you're kind of really pressing it, melting it into the skin versus using a brush all over. But for, like I said, for the price, you can't really beat it, and you get a huge container. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in, and my face isn't itching anymore if anybody was curious. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Revlon Color Stay. This is the translucent compact. This says it has like 16-hour wear. Some like mattifies a little bit. I like this one for work because I get, you know, sweaty and when moving around, it kind of helps things stay. I don't use a lot of it because, again, this can look real powdery and dry. Then I'm going to go in with the makeup. This is the Revolution Pro Skin Finish in Opalescence. This gives a nice sheen to the skin. If I can get it open. There we go. So this is what it looks like. They do have a darker version, and I just swirl my brush in. And this, again, just gives a nice sheen. I take it down the neck a little bit. I feel like on camera it looks like my face is darker than my neck, but in person I don't think it's that. I think some of it's the lighting. And that just gives a nice glow. And then after that, I go in, I've been going in with, this is the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist Either Dog Hair All Over You. Kind of let that sink in. And then I put a little, I've been putting a little bit of the Cover FX illuminating spray on. I like doing both of these. It kind of helps if my face looks too powdery, because sometimes if I'm not careful and I'm using the Too Faced one, this can make you look powdery if you use too much. So going in with the extra spray helps with that. I'm going to set that concealer brush out because I don't think I like that. So that's going to go somewhere else. It'll go in my bathroom since I've used it. Move my contouring brushes up. I don't know. I think for contour and blush, I don't know if I'm going to use the blush out of here. Maybe I won't. I think I'm going to use the contour out of that. For bronzer, I think I'll use the one out of my Becca one since we're using Becca stuff. And for blush, I think I'm going to use my Kat Von D one. So we'll go in with the Hoola bronzer out of my, what is this called? Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. And then this is, what is this? This is a Luxie 512 small contour brush. I use this just for the contouring part on my cheeks and my jaw. And then I have a bigger Sigma brush that I use on the rest of my face for everything else. I have a small face, and I feel like for the contour, this kind of helps me get in there. I can use my bigger Sigma brush for this. I have this brush and I kind of like it for this step, so I use it. It's not necessary though. And for nose contour, I have a Morphe G41. It's a small little, and I think this is what it's for. I got it when I had the Morphe and Me subscription. That was really popular for a while, and then they had that whole scandal where they were leaking, like, I don't think they were leaking, but somebody hacked their system and a lot of people's cards were compromised. But that's where most of these Morphe brushes came from. I didn't like go out and purchase them individually. And that's why I had that subscription, because I didn't have a ton of brushes at the time, and it kind of helped me build my brush collection. And I'm kind of doing things out of order. Sometimes I do my brows before this part, but I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. Sometimes I do this part first because I forget that I didn't do my eyebrows. We'll do those in a second. And I'm just contouring my Cupid's bow. I don't have a very like prominent Cupid's bow, so I took some contour in the center and then on both sides, and it just kind of gives me a little bit more of a defined Cupid's bow. And then I contour under my bottom lip. That makes your lips look fuller, if anybody's wondering what I'm doing. And then this is my Sigma Soft Angled Contour F23 brush. There's always stuff on it. So then I take the contour on my forehead with this one. And then certain contours don't blend out as well, so sometimes I'll go back and kind of diffuse it a little bit more. But like I said, I have that other brush, and I do like it, so I try to use it a little bit, but it's so small, I don't really like it for my forehead. I have a pretty large forehead for having such a small face, so I feel like I'm contouring for days. So I'm going to use the bronzer shade Caramel out of this Becca holiday kit. I like to go in with a matte contour and then blend it out with a shimmery bronzer. I feel like that gives a natural, like, sun-kissed look. So that's how I do mine. Not everybody likes a shimmery bronzer. Some people like matte bronzers, and you can completely bronze with Hoola if you wanted to. This is just the way I do my makeup. So I have shimmery bronzers and I have matte ones for contouring. And then I take it on my jaw and down my neck a little bit. Okay. And then I do highlight before I do blush. So for highlighter, I'm going to use the Cookie highlighter out of this Hoola set. It's pretty. And this is usually the point where I realize I didn't do my eyebrows yet, is when I'm taking it around. So we'll do that as soon as I'm done. I will probably have to get up and shut the door. My dog just came in and Mike's out in the living room watching a movie. I'll get up and shut it, so you do apologize for the background noise for just a second. Okay. I'm gonna shut the door and then we'll do blush. Okay. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to use my Kat Von D blush. I got the shade Rosebud. Usually, I don't always do a shimmery blush because this is a matte one, but with the eye look, I didn't really know what blush to use, and I like this Kat Von D one. They were having a 30% off sale. I think everybody's having 50% off sales right now because people aren't buying anything, and I take a little bit. Do a little on my nose, a little on my chin, a little on my forehead. Oh, okay. It is pigmented, so I know I look very rosy, but it's a good blush. I like it. I'm hoping people will start talking about the products again now that she's not with the company any longer, because she did, even though like there was issues, she did have some good products. I have some other brow stuff I've been trying, but I'm going to use my normal products today, which is the ColourPop Precision Brow, and this is in, I think it's the light brown shade. It's called Brown Blonde Moment, so yeah, it's like the light brown shade. This one is a little bit darker than the Tarte one that I bought, so I'm going to use this one on camera because it's just faster. And I will probably just do one brow on camera. I might do both. This is just probably going to be a little bit longer video. So then I take the pencil and I do that on both sides. This is how I kind of make it look like I have eyebrows, because I don't really have eyebrows. I mean, I have eyebrows. I don't have a lot of eyebrows. And I don't over tweeze. I just don't have eyebrows, unfortunately. And I found using the pencil and the powder kind of creates the best look for me, to where it looks like I have eyebrows, but they don't look like I took a Sharpie to them, because that has been the biggest challenge for me. And one tail always looks nicer than the other. That happens to me every day, and it switches which one it is. And then I'll take the spoolie and I'll comb through the pencil a little bit to kind of diffuse it, because it's just really providing me a little bit fuller shape. So they already look better. And then I have this, the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. This came in a BoxyCharm forever ago, and I still have it. I've been using the middle, the blonde shade. And the brush by her, still have it. I think this came like 2 or 3 years ago, and I still have it. It's still available. I went on the website and looked, because I thought about buying a backup of this powder, because I like it, because it's got the blonde, the red side, the brown side. So even when, you know, when my hair has been different colors, I've been able to use the same compact, and I like barely, I use this every day almost. I haven't the last few, like the last time I did my makeup, but it was just because I was trying a new powder. But typically this is the powder I use every single day. And I don't know if you can tell, like there's barely dips in there, because you don't use a ton of product. So this, I think, is a little bit expensive of a product, but like it's lasted me forever. So I would be tempted to get another one of these just because it's good. I mean, the product inside's gonna go bad before it runs out. But yeah, I just take the powder completely over the pencil, kind of sets it. I'm able to take the front part out a little bit and diffuse it. And then I take the Brow Gal, this is in Brown 02, the tinted fiber gel. I thankfully didn't have to purchase another one of these. We got this in BoxyCharm, and then I think we got it again in Allure, because I do like this. I was going to buy another one off of her website, and then I thankfully got another one. And this is another thing that lasts a long time. I think I had mine for over a year and it finally just dried up and I opened the new one. So that's it. So now I have eyebrows. So now we can go in with the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Almost needing to open my second one. I buy this in the 2-pack because I use a lot of it. But again, when I'm working, I need my makeup to last for a long time because I'm at work like 10 hours. And then by the time I come home, if I'm filming anything in the evening, it's been on for like 15 or 16. So just let that sit. My lips look funny because we got highlighter on them. I apologize that this is probably going to be a longer video, but this is my get ready process. All right, so then for eyeshadow, to prime, I'm going to go in with the MAC Paint Pot and Soft Ochre. I do like this. This is expensive. This was $20, but I think it was worth every penny. I love this so much, and I just use my finger. A good drugstore alternative would be the Ulta. Ulta's a little bit creamier. The matte eye primer in nude is a good alternative to this if you don't want to spend the money. I think that one's only like 10. I said it's a little bit more silicone-y than this one, but it works. And typically, like when I'm working, I will put a little bit of eyeshadow primer on my nose to kind of help the foundation stay better, and that's the primer that I use for that. And I just use a little bit. You use what you would put on your eye. I think the mistake people make trying to do that step that I've heard is putting too much eyeshadow primer. You don't need very much. The same amount you would put on your lid. And I might need concealer, so let's get out the camo just in case. All right. I think I'm going to use the Vampira palette in conjunction with my other 2 Coffin palettes. I didn't pull out the heart one, but this one doesn't really have a black, so I think I'm gonna pull the black from the Elvira palette, and then I think I'm gonna pull like maybe this lighter shade and maybe this shade to like highlight and blend out. I'm copying I think her name is Biohazard. She reviewed this palette when she got it and did I watched the video and I'm recreating the look that she did from memory, so it's probably not going to be exact, but that's where I got the idea for this look. So just know I did not come up with this out of my own little thought. I'm inspired by her look because I wasn't really sure what to do with this palette. So we're gonna go in with Astro Vamp, which is the purple. I'm gonna do a halo. I don't do halo eyes often because my eyes are small and a little bit hooded, so I don't have a lot of lid space. Then we're going to take it in the inner part. I may get a flatter brush. Let's see here. Let me move these around. Let me see. I have so many eye brushes in here. I want a flat one, but I don't want necessarily... The only one I can see is this little baby one. I have a thicker, flatter brush. I just can't find it. I mean wider, not necessarily thicker, but... I'll probably need this brush for the black anyway, so it's fine. . 'Cause Okay. And I'm just color switching. All right, so let's go into Elvira. And the black is Unpleasant Dreams. It's just a matte black. The Elvira palette is one of the giveaway items. It is the giveaway item in the new makeup I purchased video. I just want to deepen up. And then don't worry, it looks a little messy. I'm gonna go back over it with the purple. I just want to deepen this up a little bit. And she actually did this in her video. She just used ColourPop shadows, where I'm just pulling from other palettes of theirs that I already own. And then same brush, I just cleaned it off. I'm gonna go back over. I probably didn't take the black in as far as she did. She does more like gothic style makeup, so I think she did a lot more black. I just want to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. I don't necessarily need it to be crazy. Bring that purple up just a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna take out of the Supernatural palette, I think I'm gonna go in with, which one is it? Reincarnation is this mauve shade here on the Ouija board planchette. I'll probably go back in with that purple a little bit just to connect the top here. I need to see how this blends out. I didn't put any up here, but I think I will just a little bit for blending purposes. And then I'm going to go in with, what's the other? Invocation. It's a little bit darker of a mauve, just to help blend. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of, what is this lighter shade? Myth. So I use these two shades on the end, and then I'm going to use this shade right here. Just in top, kind of diffuse that just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks decent. Like I said, I don't do halo eyes often because I don't have a lot of space to do them. I feel like they look silly on me. So we're going to take a little bit of this concealer, and I don't even pull it out all the way. I pull out the wand. And this is from Medusa's makeup. This is just a little cheap brush. I just get a tiny bit. We're just going to pop that in the center. And when you go in with the concealer, you don't necessarily have to leave the middle blank. Like I could have put purple over my whole lid to make it easier on myself and then gone in with the concealer, but. So we're gonna go in with Velvet Moon, which is this white one. It's got a, like a purple, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it's got a little bit of a purple shift to it. Hopefully that brush is clean. Let's wipe it off a little bit more. Okay. Same flat brush. I was hoping putting it on the concealer like you'd really be able to see the shift too. I don't know. I can a little bit when I get up close. I'm going to take a little bit more of the purple just on the edges so that it looks a little bit more blended maybe. Okay. There's a little bit of fallout I can see. Usually when I have fallout, I'll take this Jeffree Star and Morphe J52. This is pretty much all I use this brush for, is just wiping away fallout. All right, so let's do the lower lash. I'll probably do this eye off camera. So for the lower lash, I think I'm gonna go in with this Nefarious shade on sort of a chubby brush, something like that. I need to clean my brushes. Ooh, that's powdery. Like I barely touched into it. When she did hers, she put some black eyeliner down and then put this on top to really make it dark and smoky. I'm not going anywhere, and then I have a problem with eyeliner anyway. It ends up trying to like run all over my face. I'll leave the center blank. Try and blend that out a little bit. I took it kind of far in the inner corner. I'm gonna put a little bit of the Velvet Moon right in the middle on the bottom. Probably look better if I put like a white liner down and then put this on top of it, but I think it's okay. And then I think maybe I'm gonna do a little bit of Untarnished, which is like this silvery color on the inner corner. Okay. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this other eye off camera, and I'll come back and we can do liner. We have both eyes done. This side, I think I took a little bit too much concealer, like more so than this side, but I don't think it's horrible. It's the nice thing about wearing glasses is it camouflages any mistakes. So we are gonna do liner and mascara. Liner. I think I'm going to use that. This is Trooper, Kat Von D's Trooper. Again, like I said, I hope people can start talking about her products again, because she's not with the company anymore. Because like, this is a good liner, I think. I never thought this was a bad liner. This has been like one of my holy grail ones for a long time. When I first started doing wings, this liner for a long time was the only liner I could use to do a wing. It's very, very user-friendly. It is a $20 liner. It is expensive for a liner, but it's a good one. The only reason I haven't repurchased it is because I have a couple of these little like deluxe ones I'm trying to use, and then I will buy another one. It is probably my most purchased liner. I do have one of hers. What is it? I got it in a box. It's the Dagger version of the tattoo liner, so the tip's a little bit different. I haven't tried it. You see it's still in the box because I have a bunch of open liners I'm trying to get through. I may try that when this runs out. So I'm just trying to use up some of the stuff I have so it's not just sitting in the drawer. But it does, the tattoo liner I feel like does last a long time. At least I have repurchased several, but I just know it unless you use a ton of liner and go through it really quick, it does last a little bit. My wings never look exactly the same, so don't feel bad if you struggle. I just kind of accept it. Usually one will end up being angled a little bit more than the other. I never get them completely like exactly symmetrical. And when I try, then I end up with like huge wings. This one I think is getting close to being done, but okay. So for mascara, I've been going back and forth, trying to use up the rest of this Stila, so I think I'll use that today. And my eyelashes don't like to curl. They don't like to hold a curl. So if you have that problem, you are not alone. And I have an expensive eyelash curler because that's the only thing that, it's the Shiseido one from Sephora. It's like a $20 eyelash curler, but that's the only one that even like remotely gets them to curl even a little bit. And usually I'll have to let the mascara dry and go in, like if I'm gonna go somewhere, and then I'll curl them again. You're not supposed to do that because I think it pulls lashes out, but mine just don't like to stay curled. And I don't wear falsies anymore because of my glasses. When I wore contacts, I wore false eyelashes every day, and it wasn't an issue. But now that I don't, I've realized how much my eyelashes actually don't curl. So there is the final eye look with liner. Not too bad. Like I said, they're not like completely identical. Newer one. This is the Loved Craft. I don't know if it'll go with this eye look, but it's just kind of a pinky color. This is Kat Von D's. I don't think that looks bad. It brightens the look up a little bit. You could do a darker lip with this. Yeah, this is one of those, what is this, Studded Kiss cream lipsticks. So yeah, that is the finished look. Like I said, I'll get a little closer so you can kind of see. I don't think the foundation looks bad. Like I said, you just want to make sure you don't use too much. Like I probably used a full pump and a half that time. I think the first time I used just 2 little pumps because it's thick, and I think that's probably what's giving people trouble. But I like the palette, and I'm not mad that I had to pull shades from here. It's actually kind of nice because then I'm able to use these more. So I'm glad that I have like kind of 3 that I can create more looks out of, and then I have the heart palette to use too, so that does not bother me at all. And I think this look is pretty. The only thing I would have done differently was maybe put some concealer in the center, because you can't really see where I put that lighter shade. But other than that, the only thing I didn't really like was this for under my eyes. It was fine for my face, but I didn't so much care for that for under the eyes. But maybe I'll put it back in with my brushes and see if I can get it to unstiffen maybe a little bit. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure you are subscribed and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the products I tried, and hopefully I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye everyone.